Okay, think about your calendar for a second. You see two meeting invitations pop up.
Hmm.
One is like super vague, team sync, everyone's marked as required. You know the type.
Oh, yeah, I know that one well.
And then the other, it clearly states the purpose. Let's say, review Q3 user feedback for product roadmap. Explains why your specific UX expertise is needed.
Okay, much better already.
Right. And it notes data analysts are optional, but welcome. It even flags the time zone, making sure everyone can actually, comfortably attend.
Hmm.
Which one of those makes you feel like your time, your contribution is actually valued?
Well, it's obviously the second one, isn't it? That feeling you get, that sense of being respected.
Mhm.
That's really what we're digging into today. We're
Exactly.
doing a deep dive into how these seemingly small things around meetings, even before they start, build the foundation for trust, for a
Yeah.
really collaborative environment.
Yeah, we often think respect happens in the meeting, right? But your point is, it starts way earlier.
It really does. It's baked in from that invite hitting your inbox.
Yeah.
Our sources really back this up.
Absolutely. So, our mission here for this deep dive is to figure out how to build these respectful meetings, the kind that value time, yes, but also actively use everyone's unique viewpoints
Hmm.
to drive better collaboration and, hopefully spark more innovation in how we manage our products and services.
Okay, so let's unpack that. How do we set the stage thoughtfully? You mentioned it starts with purpose, right?
Hmm.
But maybe not a super detailed agenda.
Yeah, that's a key insight from the sources. Focusing on a clear desired outcome instead of getting bogged down in a minute by minute agenda. Less can be more here.
Okay, why is that? Especially thinking about agile approaches to managing products and services, why is a strict agenda maybe limiting?
Well, it's fascinating, right? A really tight, predefined agenda can accidentally stifle the creative thinking you need, the adaptability.
Which is crucial for innovation? Exactly. It can lock you onto one path when, let's be honest, complex product challenges often mean you need to explore a bit, adapt, to find the best way to hit the objective.
So the desired outcome is like the destination on the map.
Precisely. And a rigid agenda is like insisting on only one specific road, even if a better one appears. Focusing too much on the how can stop you finding the best route.
Right. So saying what we need to achieve by the end, that gives direction without sort of micromanaging the journey.
You got it. It empowers the team, especially in that agile product context, to bring their skills, their insights, and adapt in real time.
Okay.
When everyone knows the why, the goal, they instantly see the meeting's value and, importantly, how they fit in, how they can contribute. That's respect right there.
Okay, another simple thing the sources mention. Clearly marking required versus optional attendees. Why is that simple tag so powerful?
It seems small, but it's really about giving people agency, control over their own time and focus.
Agency. I like that.
Yeah. By saying who really needs to be there for the core goal and who could add value but maybe isn't essential for the whole thing. You're empowering people.
Letting them make an informed choice?
Exactly. They can decide how best to use their time, aligning it with the meeting's goals and their other priorities. It basically says, we value your time. We know you're busy.
And for those product and service teams spread out everywhere, time zones, that's got to be huge.
Oh, absolutely critical, especially now with so many distributed teams working on products and services, actively trying to find a time that works reasonably well for everyone.
Unless there's already a team agreement, maybe.
Right, unless that's sorted. But just making the effort, seeking that compromise, instead of always defaulting to, say, your local time, which is late for someone else,
That sends a message.
it sends a huge message about valuing people, about respecting their work-life balance. And that's just vital for keeping a team healthy and productive long-term in product management.
Okay, great setup points. Now, the meeting itself, those first few minutes, punctuality. Seems obvious, but why is it highlighted as so key for trust?
It really is fundamental. Starting on time isn't just, good manners. It shows you value every single person who made the effort to be there promptly.
And when it starts late,
You're essentially penalizing the punctual ones, right? You shrink the working time, and it can subtly say, your time isn't quite as important.
yeah, I get that. It's funny, one source mentioned a team using a cowbell to get people to meetings.
A cowbell, seriously.
Yeah, and the point was that kind of undermines treating people like responsible adults, which feels pretty counter to agile principles and product management, doesn't it?
That's a really sharp contrast, yeah. While maybe meant lightly, using gimmicks like that ignores the core agile values of self-organization, of accountability, which we rely on for managing products and services effectively. It's more of a project management mindset, maybe.
So instead of cowbells,
Just be consistently punctual. It creates a positive pattern. People learn the meeting will start on time, so they adjust. It's a small habit, big signal. Respect, professionalism, everyone's a responsible contributor.
okay, so we're in the meeting on time. How we interact is next. Active listening, assuming positive intent, psychological safety, staying above curious on the mood elevator. Lots to unpack there.
Yeah, they all kind of weave together, don't they, to create that respectful, productive space,
Yeah.
active listening. It's more than just not talking.
Right. It's really paying attention.
Full attention, asking questions to clarify, maybe even restating what you heard. So
Right.
what I think you're saying is, just to confirm you've got it right, it shows the speaker their input matters.
And this idea of assuming positive intent, what's the core of that?
It's basically starting from a place of belief that others mean well, even if you disagree or their idea seems off at first.
So it stops you jumping to conclusions.
Exactly. Cuts down on defensiveness. Instead of reacting negatively, you're more likely to ask, okay, help me understand your thinking here. It fosters collaboration.
Psychological safety, then. We hear this term a lot. In a meeting context, what does it really mean? Is it about avoiding conflict?
Not at all about avoiding conflict, actually. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels safe enough to speak up, to share ideas, even wild ones.
Ask questions without feeling dumb.
Yes, or challenge an existing idea respectfully without fearing they'll be shut down or embarrassed. It's the foundation of trust that lets you have constructive disagreements, which you need for great product outcomes.
Okay. And the mood elevator. Staying above curious. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a neat framework. Think of it like tracking the emotional state in the room. Staying above curious generally means being open, receptive, constructive.
And if you drop below, into frustration, judgment.
Then collaboration tends to break down, right? You get defensiveness, closed-mindedness. It can really derail productive work, especially when you're trying to innovate on a product or service. So staying mindful of that mood is key.
Makes sense. And the sources also mention something simple but important. Breaks in longer meetings.
Oh, definitely. You can't expect people to stay sharp and engaged for like 2 hours straight. Building in short breaks, maybe 10, 15 minutes every 45 minutes or so.
It shows respect for people's energy levels, their well-being.
Absolutely. It lets people recharge, refocus. They come back more productive. It's respecting the human element, which ultimately helps the product or service work too.
Now, let's tackle that common perception. Agile means too many meetings, especially when people think about product and service management. How do the sources help clarify this?
Yeah, that's a big misconception, often based on comparing agile working sessions to traditional waterfall-style project management meetings.
What's the difference in feel?
Well, those waterfall meetings are often one-way status reports, right? Formal presentations, rigid agendas. They can feel like a waste of time if you're just passively listening.
Okay. And agile meetings, ideally.
They should be different beasts entirely when you're managing products and services. They're meant to be engaging, collaborative working sessions focused on action, on creating value together incrementally.
So the planning and requirements happen differently than in waterfall project management.
Exactly. It's more distributed, more continuous. The key is having the right outcome, required people actively contributing, building the product or service together in the meeting.
So done right, they're not a time drain.
No, when they follow these respectful principles, clear outcomes, right? People, active engagement, they become a really valuable, essential part of managing and evolving products and services.
This focus on respect also seems super relevant with AI tools entering our meetings more, doesn't it?
It really does. That foundation of trust we build with humans is just as vital when we bring AI into the mix.
There was an example, right, about an AI note taker.
Yeah, an AI just showing up in the meeting list to take notes, but without a clear, easy way for people to say no thanks. It apparently created this slightly awkward formal vibe.
Because people didn't explicitly opt in.
Right. So as we use these tools more, we need to be thoughtful, transparent about what the AI is doing, and always give people a clear choice and opt-out. It's the same respect we show colleagues.
It really does all circle back, doesn't it? Every small action, the invite, the start time, how we listen, how we use tech, it all adds up.
Precisely. It all contributes to building that culture of respect. And that culture is what fuels trust, fuels collaboration, and ultimately fuels the innovation we need for great products and services.
So as you're listening to this, maybe think, What's one small change, just one thing you can do this week to make your meetings a bit more respectful, a bit more effective?
Yeah, just one small step. And if you want to dive deeper into these ideas, especially around building adaptive organizations with AI emerging, do check out the links to the source video in the description.
Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.